Yeah, John, I know you've spoken on it, but another game with some miscommunications. I know it's kind of on the other side. Is it still just trying to get together on the same page? And what can you guys do on a short week to kind of shore that up?
Yep, definitely watch the tape. Just like you said, clean it up. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like a lot of time it's split safety coverages. So it's just like I don't think it's communication. I think it's just like trusting your technique and trusting what you see. But it's easy fixes, but we can't keep doing that, moving on the season. That was a good offense. We got tested, so it's an easy fix. We just got to move on from it.
And then your role in the defense, I know it's kind of been brought up about maybe being deep or up in the box. I mean, do you feel like you could be doing more for this defense in maybe a closer position to the line?
I just, the role that I was given, I'm just trying to be the best I can be at it. I don't think, schematically, I should, have any changes or offer up any, advice or anything. I'm just, trusting in what I can do and doing my best to do what I provide for this team.
Thanks, Matt. Let's go to Mary Kay Cabot.
Yes, John, just wondering, we found out that JOK has a high ankle sprain, which could be like a 4 to 6 week type of thing. So my question to you is, what kind of a blow is it to your defense to be without JOK for that length of time, and how did you see him coming along?
Yeah, he was coming along really fine. We had some blitzes in just for him. We had some packages in, where he's like the only linebacker on the field. So he's definitely a big part of the defense. But, other guys just got to step up. Got to give, Anthony Walker opportunity, Mac Wilson opportunity. We got a lot of guys in that linebacker room that can really play. But I think it does, take some speed off us. He just one of those guys that just runs all day and just hits everything that moves. So it's definitely going to be a big loss. But we got the guys in the room to cover for him.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Next up is Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, John. Hey, how tough are these short weeks? And is this one even tougher because you guys got so many guys banged up?
Yeah, short weeks are very tough. On a regular week, it's tough, preparing for a team. You have a couple of days to get ready. And I think, we got pretty much today, tomorrow. I imagine Wednesday will be super light. So we really have like 2 days, and today is coming immediately after the game. So it's really tough on the body, but also mentally. But I think, we got the right guys in the building to get ready for a game. Luckily, it's at home, so that's a big help. And, we just got to get ready to prepare for it.
Joel was just talking about how in many ways Kareem exemplifies how the Cleveland Browns want to play football. How hard is it to see a guy like that who kind of sells out every single play, John, to be taken off the field like that?
Right. I just saw him, during the week trying to do everything that he could to get ready for this game. He probably could have sat out or probably should have sat out. He was kind of banged up coming into the game, but, he's a warrior. He went out there and gave us everything he had. So it's definitely a big hit for us. But, we just thank him for everything that he did, and hopefully he gets better soon. And like you said, he does exemplify, what the Browns is: tough, physical, relentless. So I just hope he gets healthy soon.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Thank you, Tom. Dale Ryder, you're up.
Hey, John. I know you talked about the communication aspect on those, blown coverages or missed assignments on the touchdowns. It's happened 3 times now in the last 2 weeks. What are the corrections? Obviously, a correction wasn't made because it repeated itself. So I guess just, what is the correction that you guys have to fix so that doesn't keep happening?
I think it's just staying deep. You see like crossing routes in front of you, you get nosy. Even if the quarterback's like looking at it for a second, you can't really like bite on it in this defense. You got to stay deep. If it's 2 split safeties, like we need 2 safeties back there. If it's single high, we need 3 guys deep covering those routes. So I think it's just really trusting in the technique, not letting, the game flow. If a guy checks the ball down a few times, oh, well, like that's not our job. That's not our work. So I think it's just really staying deeper than the deepest.
And how do you guys maintain the morale right now? It's got to be tough. You've had a lot of critical guys get hurt defensively. You've had bodies in and out for the first 6 games here. Just how do you keep the morale and the faith and the belief that you guys can still be what you expected to be this year?
Yeah, I think you just got to take a step back and look at, things for what they really are. We haven't played any division opponents. Those are the games that we need to win. We played 3 teams in the top 10 offensively. The 4th one is, I think, number 12. in the league. Somehow we're playing so out of control, so bad. We're the number 2 defense in the league yardage wise. So I think you just got to step back and look at things for what they really are. We're a 3-3 football team with a bunch of games in front of us. And I just think, once we shake back from these injuries and get settled in, I think, we'll be just fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. Nate Ulrich has our next question.
Hey, John, just kind of piggybacking off that about the big picture. Do you feel like, you guys are at a bit of a crossroads Thursday night? You got the mini bye after that, and then you start the division games you're talking about, against Pittsburgh. How big is Thursday night's game? How much is at stake for you guys?
It's huge. It's huge. Like you said, we're coming off 2 losses. We do get that little mini bye. We get that weekend off to rest and recover. So I think this is like a pivotal point in the season. Game 7? So we're getting up there in games. We're approaching the midway through the year. So I think this is a huge game to win, get back on track, get the momentum back on our side going into those division games. So like you said, that mini bye will help out a lot. It'll be huge for us. But it's definitely a must-win game on a short week.
So, I know every opponent's different. Every week's different, obviously. And you've been in these games where your last 2 opponents have had really good quarterbacks and offenses, have scored a bunch of points. Well, but what's your level of confidence you can get back to defensively what you guys did, back to back, Chicago, Minnesota, and is that, I guess, is it realistic and what's it going to take?
Oh yeah, it's very realistic. Like you said, every week is different. Every week presents a new opportunity. It's kind of like when we play those teams that are similar to us, we'll be fine. I'm talking about like big people, big personnel. I feel like those West Coast offenses, we've had trouble with, and that's just the nature of the game. Like we're a tough team, we're a physical team, and I think once we get to that brand of football, we'll dominate. So I think it's just different types of teams, different types of games, different types of atmospheres. Sometimes you just got to weather the storm and, like I said, step back and see that bigger picture. But I think we'll shake back. We got the right guys in this organization, not just players. So I think we'll be just fine.
Thanks, Nate. Let's go to Scott Patrick.
Hey, John, when you were talking about it being an easy fix to clean up some of the stuff on defense, was that what you were talking to Daryl about, the not getting sucked in and not giving up the big plays, or what else is involved in the easy fix part?
Yeah, just being disciplined and trusting what you see. Like sometimes we have like little nuances within a defense that can throw you off a little bit, but you really have to just understand, okay, if I'm the deep half player, I have to stay on my deep half. No matter what route concepts I'm getting, you can't go chasing things. Like you really just have to trust in what is being called. And I think that's what it is. Like the small little nuances in the defense, we get matched on a guy and forget about our half, or, we see something in front of our face, we want to bite down on it, getting greedy and stuff like that. You can't really do that in this defense, especially not in the secondary. So it's just those small things like that, getting back to basics and trusting what's being called on the field.
And Joe talks about not putting too much on the menu. Does it feel like it's gotten bigger and maybe he needs to scale that back?
No, I don't think that's the problem. I think just becoming great at what we do. You can have a lot of things on the menu if you know what you're doing in those defenses. If you know them in and out like the back of your hand, I think it's just fine. The volume on the menu doesn't really matter. But I just think it's like the stuff on the menu, we really have to be like 100% sold on it. Like stuff that we mess up in practice probably shouldn't be a call that we lean on in the game. And it hasn't been too much of that, but I just think like that's the biggest thing that we got to start with and go from there.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. We have time for one more, then we'll have Anthony Walker Jr. Marla Ridenour, go ahead.
Yeah, John, just wondering, do you guys just, what you were talking about there about, taking the bait or, not staying where you're supposed to, are you guys like trying to do too much because the offense is banged up, or, or is it maybe you're getting sucked into, some of the young guys are getting sucked into these star players they're facing, any of that?
Maybe in like the back of our minds, we're trying to press and make things happen. I think that's just like a natural thing for a competitor. But I don't think it's anything, one specific thing around us. I just think it's, guys want to compete, guys want to make plays, and you do find yourself pressing sometimes to make plays. And like I said, early in the season, it's really like when you just do your job, it might get a little boring sometimes. You end up falling into plays, and that's what we got to really trust and lock into, and it'll end up paying off for us.
And is the lack of takeaways playing into that too?
I would say so. You know, like I said, you want to make a big play. You want to get the ball back to the offense. You want to get them going. You want to spark momentum and stuff like that. And takeaways is we preach on it every day. We practice it every single day. We really make that an emphasis, and we're not seeing them. So that could be a part of it. But I think like I said, let the plays come to us, and they'll end up coming to us.